I had some friends that would ask me, hey, you should start a poker vlog. But I didn't watch poker vlogs. I didn't like them. And so I just pictured that as somebody walking around a casino with a camera shooting at themselves. We're going to jump into this hand because Sung has a set of fives
George there on the right of your screen.
against a gut shot. No backdoor.
And if you've not gotten familiar with George, he can take some interesting lines in some of these hands. As he
Yeah, I have been watching the stream, so I've definitely seen him.
Open the raising there, and oh my goodness.
there.
Fireworks right off the bat here, Wes. We've got bottom set versus straight.
So I was looking back at the pre-flop. Sung just called pre-flop. Yeah, pre-standard on his flop. Did he check raise? Yeah.
George getting a count here as Sung bets 115 here on the turn, bottom set.
It's actually a really good. I mean, it's just unfortunate that he turned it, but it's definitely a good spot to call on the flop, check raise the turn, get people to fire off with their hands that don't have a lot of equity, but start building up pot at some point, especially when that hard draw comes in. He's just going to get raised.
Yeah, George, not severely deep stack for this. Pretty medium stack, I think, for these stakes for our 5-10 no limit cash game tonight. Is going to bump it up here to 365, and Sung's got a decision here. I mean, what kind of hands could he be putting George on this spot? That okay, how do you play a set here against support that's looking kind of nasty right now for his hand?
When I'm playing this hand, I'm playing it super fast. I would have actually check raised the flop. This run out is interesting because he's not going to put him on a 10-7. But I don't know. He's probably thinking about all the equity he does have. He knows he has equity. He knows that George has equity, a lot of equity. Could have turned the draw. I guess Queen 10 is a hand that he could be putting on. But I would have just made the decision right there on the turn. And I would have gotten it in really bad. But that's just what I would have done. And now he's in another weird spot. Now he's got to decide, is he going to check call this river, which I think he's supposed to. Like, it's so hard. And if she put him on a set of jacks, he just decided he flopped a set too.
I mean, he could put him on hands like Jack 9, 9-8. I mean,
well, that's why on the turn, I think there's so many other combo draws, pair-in draws, that's the point. I would be trying to get my money in when that guy can actually have. But now you're here on the river. Are you really going to get George to put in a ton of money with Jack 10? Probably not. So.
And this is where George's image of being kind of wild and crazy really helps him get called in the spot. And he gets shoved down. He's going to flip over the winner there with a straight 7 to Jack. As it didn't take us too very long for us to light up some fireworks here in the heart of Texas, here, North Austin, TCH.
I have some very strong thoughts about what you said. And I didn't come here to,
You didn't come here to sit on your hands.
Yeah,
you came here to fire some takes.
So I'll tell you what I think about that. You're right. A lot of bad players, a lot of bad tournament players who don't make a lot of money do play that way and do think that's a way to play in tournaments because they're trying to preserve their stack. The problem with that concept is a tournament, you have no choice but to constantly build your stack, or you're just going to bubble, or you're going to min cash. You're not going to make a big final table. So I'm sure 80% of the field, 70%, there's a large percentage that's trying to preserve. Look at that set right on the flop.
Well, it's a set night here on Friday as Neighbors had just called the $20 straddle, Matto.
And right now, Nick is trying to be so calm, but inside, it just feels so good. You're just like, oh my God, I cannot believe I have a set. I hope he has aces. He's trying to like do the fake, look, I look at you to get a read on you before I call. Like he was never folding.
Nonchalant. Oh,
and
money card.
He doesn't always love that card though. Nick might be thinking that might kill his action, but in this exact scenario, it's going to be the card that helps him get paid off.
This is Matthew Lura, college student. He had some vlogs himself. I think he was around like 5,000 subscribers, but as you've mentioned, the time-consuming nature of it. But, he's been coming on the streams. He's been doing pretty well.
Yeah, Matt's a good guy. We've been talking a little bit the past 2 times I've been up here. I was just talking to him before the stream started about what happened to his vlog because I was surprised he had so many followers but only had 5 videos. But apparently he got hit with the YouTube
that
whatever poker thing where they just basically deleted his videos and said he was in some violation. And then they don't tell you what you're violating. But
it is a strange world here. So backdoor spades
I mean,
come.
you would think that Nick needs to lead this river, right? But it's kind of a weird. Yeah, he's gonna have to check.
Because at this point, what is Matt L putting neighbors on at this point that he's going to call 2 streets? And yeah, Nick has always been, I'm going to take the aggressive path towards a lot of these hands. And now you got sort of check calling, you know, like
I think he could have check raised the turn, being that it puts the flush draw out there. He knows he has a reputation, and it can be a check raise on that turn is just hard to believe. And that's what he wants. He wants you to not believe him and call. But now he's in a spot where Matt's probably going to bet and fold. And again, I hate guessing what these guys are going to do, but if I have ace queen in this spot and I get check raised on this river, what do I beat? It definitely should be value betting. I like this bet.
But he's been really good at sizing up these kind of marginal spots. But now, I mean, is he thinking, okay, this guy turn a set of aces on me? It's not totally implausible, but
yeah, he's ripping it.
Yeah, buddy, there's your friendly neighbors ripping it in.
And the only thing I'd say about Matt's reaction there is he should have been thinking about what if, so that he wouldn't be so shocked. Because a lot of times you get an emotional response when stuff like that happens because you didn't even consider that was an option. And it looked like Matt was shocked when he got ripped on because he hadn't thought about, okay, what if this guy raises to 800? What if this guy shoves? He just seemed like he thought he was going to bet and either get call or a fold. But there's a whole nother option. The neighbors just ripped it in.
And they're going to count it out here. I would be surprised if Matt calls, but again, taking into consideration the history that these players have shown on the stream.
I'm just trying to think of what, let's say Matt calls. Like, what does he end up deciding that Nick has?
Is Nick going to do that with ace-jack? I don't think so. Like,
well, first of all, he has to have ace-jack of clubs, spades, or diamonds to even probably float this flop. Well, we know he can't have spades, so it's clubs or diamonds. So you're starting to remove the number of ace-jacks he can have. But I think more like some sort of straight draw. They went backdoor. And the only thing Matt can decide is he has 7-8 and river to 8. Would he check raise shove? And that's just one hand. Like, if you decide this guy is only doing this with one hand, and there's all these other hands that beat me, that's when you got to find a fold.
Yeah, and Richard in that live stream was able to get away from that full house. I loved your reaction. It's like, yeah, nice.
Oh, he called. He did.
Oh my goodness, he called.
So he just decided. I'm guessing he just decided he had a hand like 7-8, 8-9 that he turned into a bluff.
A raise in front with some fours. Going to come in here for a 3-bet. Yes, some chat, and here in the chat box is. I agree with Victoria and Andrew. Bart does a really great job controlling his image, and I think that's half the struggle in games. Is now you want people thinking differently as far as, you know, hey, you want to be kind of undersold to a degree. But an action flop here as Bart has flopped top pair, top kicker sung was second set. Appreciate it, Jay. Thank you for chiming on in here in the chat box. What's going on here, TCH Nation? I think I'm going to be solo here as we had Wes's thoughts throughout it. It's a good cash game. There are a couple of good cash games here. And, you know, hey, it's Friday night, too, for some of these guys. So top pair, top kicker sung here with a set of fours. Both about equal in stack. And now if you're Bart, I don't know, does he slow down a little bit here as he's trying to piece together what he might have? So a 10 comes here on the turn. not Bart here. This is, again, we're short-handed. We're about 5, 6, 7-handed. It's gonna be really hard to get away from this hand. Even the best, especially in this situation, are gonna be looking at this spot going down. Now, if Sung rips it, perhaps now he can start thinking, maybe does Sun have a set? Does he have Queen 10? Did he turn a set on me? But as you can see there with a bet of 800, he's fairly committed here to this specific hand. As Sung just going to go for the call here. Pot building of 2,700. Now here on the end, queens and tens for Bart. But fours full for Sung with a hammer lock on the hand. And Bart's 3-bet. He's got called both on the flop and on the turn. Are the sirens going off here, guys? If this is you at Bart Hansen's spot here. And now if you're Sung, I mean, do you slow down a little bit? Is there a chance maybe Bart has Queen 10 or Queen's full? I mean, he's obviously not folding here on this, but no, this is a really tough spot here for Bart. There's not a lot of hands that Sung loses to. Here with fours full. And I agree with the chat. Yeah, I think he's played it really well. And he's just going to call here on the end as Bart is like, really? You had a set on me and you're just going to call me on the end? But unless he really thought like maybe Bart ran 10s with a pair of 10s in the hole, that it is probably a little shocking here from this vantage point. But yeah, Bart takes a hit. All right, top pair here for Will as well. Not just top pair, it's top pair and a flush draw. Corey's going to call, or oh, excuse me, well, I got this all backwards. All right, Corey had bet 85. Matt is going to call on the button. And now Will with the decision here as, hey, he's going to keep this pot small. Bart Hansen actually had a great breakdown on his channel as far as, you know, how to play a pair and a flush draw. That's kind of that push-pull factor as far as, like, you don't want to drive people out, but here with a hand like this, that is still a little bit susceptible, but checked over here to Matlu. And he's going to come out betting here for 350. Will's just going to call. He has the best hand here. Corey will get out. He's got the best hand is, here we go, an 8 on the end. So he has made first and third pair. I don't know. Does he check? Do you think Matlu would barrel again, or is he done with the hand at this point? Oh, Matt's not done yet. There's a bet of 1,500. Makes a big bet on the end. It just couldn't get him out of the hand.